We have had a passing. It is I don't wish bad on anybody. Come on. I'm just giving you the facts. We've had a passing in the RHONJ community. We need a moment of silence for the Namaste Bitches podcast. Just take a minute. Let's all reflect. It was a good run. It was a good run. I have nothing against Teresa's co-host or Teresa. I have spoken to Teresa's co-host before. I mean, there's other people that I used to speak to that didn't really say great things about her. I feel she's a very nice person. I feel she's way nicer than all of this, actually. Too nice. A nice, lovely woman from Orange County. Really, there's no sarcasm here. So I don't wish, a passing on anybody. I mean, how many episodes has the Namaste Bitches podcast had? I just be honest though, people, about what is happening here. They don't even put their fucking I don't know how many fucking episodes they had, okay? But here we are. It is a passing of the podcast. Now, look, to be in your fifth year of a podcast like myself, very hard. Most podcasts don't even get past like 25 to 50 episodes. You're a legacy podcast in your fifth year. This is why I do podcast consulting on the side. If you are around in your fifth year, chances are you're not making a gazillion dollars. If Teresa came to me, I could have made her a ton of money. I don't mean working with me. If she took my course, I could have made Teresa Giudice. I will stand by that. Tons of money in the podcast space, but she knows everything. She don't want to hear it. This is why you take my course. Now it's passed. Now here's a couple of things because everyone's slipping into my DM and blah, blah, blah. So they're not announcing it, which is okay. That's okay. But just be honest. Just be honest. You know what I mean? Like, it's over. The podcast is over. Just admit it. So right there, I have a little bit of a problem. Of course, it's going to be spun a certain way. It's going to be spun that we're just too busy and we moved on to other things. Now, listen, let me tell you something, okay? We had this discussion 2 weeks ago, just like with BravoCon. Anything that is making a ton of money is not going away. A successful business does not go away. A successful podcast does not rebrand. If you're still trying, and this is part of my course, if you're still trying to figure out how to get ahead in the podcast space and what your brand is and where you fit after 2 years, 4 years, it's like, yeah, you have to be agile in business. You have to be agile. But if you're still trying to figure out your brand after that many years, it ain't. So BravoCon is not postponed, canceled, not happening for a positive reason. There's something going on there. Same thing with the end of this podcast. Things are not booming and everyone's getting along and we're making tons of money. We're making tons. I mean, let me tell you something. If I die tomorrow, this podcast won't even be over, okay? Because I have a plan. I have a plan for oh my God. No, I'm sorry. It's like people need to stop this when I'm on the air. They're starting 5-2. The blinds are, I told you I bought an apartment in New York. You want what goes on behind the scenes. This is what I'm dealing with here. Are they starting to work on 5-13? No, they're starting in on 5-2. The blinds aren't going in until after 5-12. But IMG, Bethany Frankel's design company, IMG starts 5-2 as planned. If that makes sense. Okay. There you go. I am so sorry. Don't ever fucking redesign an apartment in New York City. Please don't do it. It's going to be the death of me. So if someone comes here and I die tomorrow, in my will, I have a plan. I have back episodes recorded. I have a plan for how this podcast can go on for at least 2 years after I'm dead in the ground. You don't have to come to my funeral. Don't worry about it. You can all pay your respects online. Here's the good news. A lot of you, when I die, will be actually thrilled. You'll actually be thrilled. Maj, the Saj, she'll be thrilled. Teresa and Louie will probably go back to Coachella. So a lot of people will be happy. But I have a plan for 2 years at least after I pass for how this can keep going and making money. And now that I'm alive, if you want to offer me, if you come along and try to get me to stop this, I have a price. Everybody has a price, but it ain't going to happen. So my point is, it's not about me. Shut the fuck up, David. Things are going great and everyone's not getting along great and we're not booming over here if the podcast is over. So that's okay. Being honest is okay in life, but you got to be honest about it. So now, of course, we're going to spin things as everyone's just so busy. Teresa's flying back and forth with LA and New Jersey, and the show is back, and blah, blah, blah. Bullshit. We all have talked about before. A lot of sources have said that, Louis, which is this is confirmed. Lots of sources have confirmed that Louis went off at BravoCon on Teresa's co-host because she was late to the booth. You go to the booth, Sutton brought her whole damn store. It looked just like Sutton. Carolyn Stanberry was hawking whatever with Sergio. I mean, you sell everything. Countess Lan, money can't buy you class t-shirts. No shade. Now, I'm not even shading Teresa's co-host for being late. Things happen. Apparently, Louis, allegedly, but from 1,000 sources, went absolutely apeshit on Teresa's co-host. Huge fight. Shocker. Teresa did not stick up for the co-host. And when you cross Mr. Aurelius, you're dead to him. So he don't like the co-host after this. And when he don't like something, he don't give up. And let's face it, Teresa will do whatever he says. She's old school. She's old school. Old school. You've seen it on the show. The man wears the pants. And then you want to know why I'm single. So there you go. So Louis doesn't like the co-host. It's not going to last. So that could go on for a week, 2 weeks. He did yell at her at BravoCon. People have all sorts of other theories about her current state and what happened after. Neither of that is important. I believe in my research and my sources have told me, allegedly, that he wanted it ended and it eventually ended. Mind you, I don't think that Teresa's co-host was so happy working with Louis either. This is where you get into all these. See, here's the thing about being behind the velvet rope, guys, because now there's all these people that are happy because they were jealous and they wanted the podcast, like these other like D-list podcasters, like they wanted the podcast with like Teresa, so they're happy now. Here's the thing about having no team and being a flip-flopper. You just open your mouth and you just talk. There's no agenda here. There's no like, let's be nice to Teresa this week. Let's sugarcoat this. I wanted that job. I want nothing in life. I don't want anything in life. There's not anything I want, except when I get my blood work taken, I want a clean bill of health, no cancer, nothing bad. And I just want that every time I get my blood work taken. That is all I want in life. Second, I want money. Okay. So that's what you're getting here. This is the honest truth of what happened. Now, some people have been slipping into DMs. We have a DM here we're going to read, which I'm not going to read. I think I was told I could read this person's name on air, but I'm not 100% sure. There's no DM you'll ever send me that I post some DMs if they're, nice, but I'll never read something or post it if I feel it's controversial. So there's a listener of mine who you guys slip into my DMs all day who DM'd Teresa's co-host and said, no, they're sending this to me. Okay. We're going to read a DM on air. Ooh, this is a good Patreon, huh? Maybe it's not. Maybe everyone's bored. I don't know. But let me find this, okay? Because you all want to hear what this DM says now, okay? So look, there's nothing wrong with this. What the hell is happening over here with Teresa claims Frank Catania exposed a plan. What the hell is this? Okay, we'll talk about that. I don't even know what the fuck that is. Hold on, everybody, please. I'm gonna be 90 years old doing this podcast, be telling you all to like leave me alone and let me go slow. Okay. Listen, okay. Geraldine, FAS. It's hard to find people's names. Okay. Do you want me to read it or not? Okay. FAS. Are you fucking kidding me? I have no fucking clue. You know what the problem is? I have two fucking things here. Okay, so someone was asking if, I'm going to talk about this. So she wants to know what happened with the Namaste Bitches podcast. She said, "Hi David, this is the BS answer Teresa's co-host gave me when I asked about what was going on in the podcast." So this listener of ours slips into Teresa's co-host DMs, says what's going on with the podcast. And this is the response. People ask me questions in DM all day. Hey, book me on Cameo, or we're doing a live show. You can ask any question, and I mean any question, at the Q&A. So the response from Teresa's co-host is, "Hi, blank. Thank you so much." This is in response to what's going on with Namaste Bitches. "Thank you so much. So excited about the baby." Teresa's co-host, ex-co-host, is pregnant. So excited about the baby. Not sure when next NB episode will be out. With Teresa back and forth to LA so much in my down/stick time from my pregnancy. Isn't this exactly what I said? So we have Jennifer Aiden getting calls from Bravo because she reposts the story that makes it look like she bought me the really fucking expensive Chanel watch. And now we have this co-host DMing somebody back, and the person is reaching out to me saying, "Look at this BS response from the co-host." Well, it is a BS response. Not sure when the next NB episode will be out. Again, I have nothing against Teresa. Her co-host, I find to be one of the nicest people, way nicer than me. This is not personal, but that is bullshit. Come on, call it out. There isn't going to be another NB podcast. Okay. It's not happening. It's over. Okay. It's not because Teresa is flying back and forth to LA. I could fly back and forth from here to China to Australia, and there will still be 9 episodes a week of the Behind the Bell Row podcast. Okay. Kristen Doty is putting out hers. Jax, a podcast that is booming and where people are getting along, is not going away. And it's not because of your pregnancy either. So I'm calling bullshit on that. She says she's rebranding her other additional podcast, blah, blah, blah. Much easier to try to get one podcast done than 2 people with crazy schedules. There's a DM from the co-host. I say BS. It's all because Louis did not like the co-host, allegedly confirmed from multiple reliable sources, and Teresa does what he wants. So I'm sorry for everyone who wants to mourn the death of Namaste Bitches. I don't wish failure. Vicki Gunvalson has had 2 failed podcasts. Is she going to try again? I mean, probably, but she failed twice already.